Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to update you guys on some concealers that I am loving, I'm obsessed with, and that I feel work perfectly for a warm, brown, Asian, tan, olive skin tone. These are concealers that I feel cover up my dark circles pretty much near enough instantly, and I don't have to faff and worry about color correcting and all of that kind of stuff. These concealers just do the job for me and make my life a whole lot easier. I have actually previously done a video like this before, so I will link that video for you now if you want to check it out, because all of those concealers that I've mentioned in that video I still very much love and highly recommend. So I don't want you to forget about those, but one that I just have to mention, and I'm sure I've mentioned it in that video, it is the Kevyn Aucoin Central Skin Enhancer. I use this in the shade SX11. This is my shit. Like, this is, oh my god. If this is the first time you're ever watching my videos and you plan to watch a few of my tutorials, just be prepared to see this in every single video. And if you're an OG and you've been watching me for some time, you already know what it is. You already know. I love this. Wow, that was good. I caught it. I didn't know I was that good at catching, boy. Right, let's move on. I'm gonna start off, and I know that this concealer also is in the other video, but it came out with new shades, and I've discovered a new shade that I love in it, which is why I'm talking about it again. It is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. The reason I'm holding two is because I have an old one and a new one. The old one here is in the shade Medium, which I've mentioned before. I absolutely love this shade. I think this shade works perfectly well for me. However, this concealer did come out in new shades, and I found one that could be even better. This is one shade slightly lighter, and this is the shade Medium Honey. So I loved the shade Medium. I think it works perfectly for me. However, I did just want it to be a little bit brighter at times, or, just, give me that extra highlight under the eyes. They've got the blend of pigmentation that's absolutely perfect, so that I've got a nice brightening shade underneath my eyes. However, it's still got enough warmth in it to, sorry, I'm trying to find my words as I explain this to you. It's got enough warmth in it to like correct the dark circles underneath my eyes and basically conceal. That's what it does. So it's just such a perfect shade for me. But yeah, aside from the shade being amazing, I actually love the consistency and formulation of this concealer. It is super full coverage. It does set and dry down to a matte finish, and it's super long wearing as well. That is just exactly what I look for in a concealer. I love the full coverage. Anything that is going to cover up my dark circles like that, I'm all over it. And you're going to notice with all of the concealers I mentioned, they are all full coverage. I ain't messing around, okay? Next up, I have the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. I have done a full review on this concealer, so I will link that for you now if you want to know more about it. But this concealer does have a really good shade range. I have this in the shade Granola 18N. I feel like this shade works perfectly well for covering up my dark circles instantly. This concealer is full coverage, and it's probably the only one out of all of the ones I'm going to show you that actually doesn't crease. Like, I've never discovered a concealer that doesn't crease. Eventually, of course, it has to. It's only natural and normal for something to sit into your lines if you've not powdered it. And I have tried this without powder, and I'm telling you, this stuff stays put. It is so good. So good. I just love how long wearing it is. I love that it gives you like a really nice smooth finish kind of effect, kind of like a velvety effect. And even when you apply it in other areas around your face to highlight with, it just gives your skin like such a nice kind of like almost like a filter over your skin. It's very, very beautiful, super highly pigmented, so a little bit of this really does go a long way. You don't need to use too much of it, and it is a little bit more on the pricey side, but because it is so pigmented, it's going to last you a hell of a long time, trust me. But like I said, if you want to know more about this concealer, and I've got a full demo of it and everything, then check out the full review on this concealer. The next concealer I want to mention is the Kylie Jenner concealer. I don't know if I did mention this in my other video, I can't remember. I didn't think I would love this concealer when I bought it as much as I do. I first of all resented buying it because I was like, oh, I don't really want to give Kylie Jenner my money. And then I tried it and just carried on using it, and I was just like, I love this concealer. It is so good. So I have this in the shade Maple. I love the shade of this. It is super brightening underneath my eyes. It corrects at the same time. It is perfect. It's got the right amount of like peachy warmth in it to correct, effect, but then the right amount of like yellow brightening tones to, you know, highlight under the eyes and also along the face as well. It's just such a good concealer. What makes this concealer different to the other two that I've shown you is that this is slightly more of a runny consistency. It's definitely a little bit more wet, and you do have a lot more playtime with this concealer, so you can go ahead and blend everything else out and then go ahead and blend this. I actually find that this concealer works and blends out a little bit better when you let it sit on your skin for a moment, because if you try and blend it out straight away while it's like proper wet, I feel like you end up picking up a lot of the product. But still, even then, when that happens, the coverage is so amazing on this concealer. One thing with this concealer though, and I think I just do this anyway in general with my makeup routine, is I always set my concealers with powder, but this definitely does need to be set with powder because I find that if I didn't, it would crease. It doesn't really bother me too much because I always set my concealer, especially under my eyes. I love this, and if you haven't tried the Kylie Jenner concealers, I would recommend it, I'm not gonna lie. Next up is the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer, and I have this in the shade Medium Neutral. Now, I don't think this has got a crazy big shade range in comparison to some of the other concealers that I'm showing you in this video, but I have managed to find a concealer that I find works really nicely for me, and I just actually really like the consistency of this concealer, how it goes on, how it looks. It's perfect for underneath my eyes and brightening and correcting and all of that. So on top of that, the coverage of this concealer, like the others, is of course amazing. This is actually a waterproof full coverage concealer. This stuff is not moving, like it really does not budge. This concealer also kind of reminds me of the Huda one in terms of the finish that it gives you. It just gives your face that kind of filtered effect, like a soft blur to your skin and just like perfect looking skin. It is so beautiful. The finish of it is incredible, so I would highly recommend checking this out. And like I said, I am the shade Medium Neutral. And finally, the last one I want to show you is by Cover FX, and it is the Power Play Concealer. I love the Power Play foundation. Now there is a concealer, and I believe there is 40 shades of this, which is insane. This concealer for me is a little bit different to the actual Power Play foundation. I find that this is a little bit more creamier, but the coverage of this is still amazing. It's very much, I would say, a medium concealer, definitely a buildable one, and it's actually quite lightweight to wear. You really don't feel yourself wearing this concealer whatsoever, and like I said, it is super nice and creamy. I have this in the shade GMedium 2, and this is perfect once again for concealing, correcting, brightening, doing all of that good stuff underneath my eyes without giving me that grey, ashy looking effect whatsoever, because the balance of warmth and brightening and all of that is spot on. So guys, those are some of my favorite concealers that I've been loving, obsessing over, and I just go in between these concealers all the time, and you'll know that because you definitely do see them in tutorials, so you know it's real, girl. So I'd love to know if any of these concealers are actually any of your favorites, if they work for you, don't work for you, or if there's a concealer you think I need to know about, because you know I am concealer queen, concealer obsessed. Concealer is like my holy grail product, my ride or die. If I was stuck on a desert island, I would just need concealer and I'm good. So yeah, let me know if there is one that you really think I need to know about. Leave it down below in the comment section. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy these kinds of videos and you'd like for me to do them more regularly. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos. Get me on the gram. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.